Hello friends, our today's video topic which is MVC. So in our today's video we are discussing MVC architecture with the context of uh, framework. So basically when we are talking about the MVC architecture, it is nothing but the model. It stands for model, view and controller. So it is pattern, architectural pattern which is we are using to build our web applications. So basically it is deals with that mainly three components which are model, view and controller. So basically when we're talking about the model, so model is basically amongst the represent the data and manipulating the actual business logic which is including in that. So in the context of Spring, when we are discussing about the model, so basically model has contains some encapsulated methods, encapsulated data, and we are accessing through the methods which are we can access the data and manipulate it. So basically it in a simply sense we can say that it is encapsulated classes or data members. So it is a very secure. So after one the view section, view components which is present in that architectures. So basically view which is related to user interface and the how the user with interact our website or particular web applications. It will be related to view sections. For example, we can say when we are accessing the Amazon websites. So basically there are some list of products, or we can say the list of electronic devices, all such a components we can see in our eyes. So that's why it's the work of the view sections. And in a Spring MVC, for that view section it uses the JSP, which is already known as Java Server Pages, and some HTML or such like technologies we are using that view. And I forget to say that in model there are one point which is we are using in that data objects, and we can say the simply POJOs. So POJOs is nothing but the plain old Java objects. So it is nothing but it contains default constructor, parametric constructor of that particular classes, and some getters or setters methods also present in that. And the most important, the toString method is also present in that. So basically all that components which we are including in that particular class. So that class we can say that POJO class. So basically POJO is nothing but the plain old Java objects. So in that model it also the present. And we already covered the view component. And the last one which is a controller. So controller is nothing but we can say that it is an intermediary part between the view and model components. So it is a quite important part, I think, because it is uh, necessary to handle all that HTTP requests which are comes from the users. And or we can say the whenever the client or users hit the request in our web page or web applications, so it will the work of controller is happening in there. So basically there are some front controller is also available. We can say the front controller is also dispatcher servlet in Spring framework. So it accepts that all that request, and it passes to the next presentation layer, or we can say the model. That means the actual business logic which is written in that component. And it will be already the interconnected between the database also. That means data access layer we are already discussed in our last video. So the work of that data access layer is also happening in there. So basically the controller handles all that request from the users, and whenever the completing the all data business logics for that particular request, and the rendering all that pages, or we can say the response to that project, and it is passes with the users. So controller is nothing but the intermediary part in between them. So basically these are the three most important component which. And the most important thing in a controller, that is when we are talking about the particularly the context of Spring MVC. So controller, in that we are using some annotations for that controller. That means annotations, why we are using in. So we have to handle that particular request from that user. So we just need some annotations in that, and there are some methods which are available, or we can say that there are so many requests from the user. We cannot say the single request are transferred by the users. So there are many requests are hit by the users. So we all the container, all that request contains in that methods. That means we can say the controller is a whole class, because it contains the all that request methods, all some data manipulation related some issues. So that's why we are considering controller as a whole class. So in that annotations, we have the controller and the REST controller also. In that old MVC architectures, we are taking annotation just a controller. But now when we have to separate the view architectures in that, so basically we putting some annotation which is a REST controller with respect to our class. So basically this is all about that MVC architecture and all its needed important components of it. So that's all from my side. Thank you.